Hello everyone, I'm Tina Marie J. Welcome to my channel. This is where we learn to inspire, create, love, and grow. So today is Happy Freaking Friday, and guess what? I did something pretty cool today, which I'm very excited about. I was on a podcast today. I did a podcast and it will be up in about 2 to 3 weeks. I have to wait for the podcast interviewer to edit and all of that, and then I can share it on this channel with you guys. It's a podcast that speaks to people who have gone through cults and spiritual abuse and all of that. And I just shared my experience. I really enjoyed it. It was pretty freaking fun. Like, I love to talk. As you can see, I talk a lot. So let's talk a little bit. Let's talk about God and separation of sin, since today is Cult Friday. For those of you who may remember, if you went to the ICOC, when you first did your studies, the first thing that they teach you is that you have a separation from God due to your sins. So your sin keeps you away from God. But basically, it made me feel like I was not good enough to be in God's great atmosphere. I feel like I kind of had an epiphany. But basically, I read an article, a blog last night actually. It was from a person who is an ICOC member. And in one of his blog posts, he was talking about all these different things that keeps a person away from God. And one of the things is their sin. And he repeated all these Bible scriptures, and oh my God, the triggers, the memories, it was crazy. I went to bed with bad vibes, and I try my best not to ever go to bed with bad vibes. I'm very into positive energy and positive vibes, and last night was just not the night. I feel like this affects so many people. I know that so many of you have been told that your sin separates you from God and you're far from God. That was actually one of the last things that I was told when I decided that I was gonna leave. And it just clicked and made so much sense to me. This is why I have PTSD and triggers when it comes to church. Even though I have gone to church for the past 2 weeks with my family because I feel some sort of a comfort there, I still feel closed off. I still feel like my heart needs to heal and I need to heal from the pain. I still feel like I'm just not enough. Like I'm not there. I'm there, but I'm not there. I'm just physically there. I feel exactly what I was told, is that I'm far from God. So I'm sure that many of you can relate to the same thing too, as I know that many of you don't even want to go back to church. You don't want to go back to church, you don't want to read the Bible. And I do not blame you, because after you're constantly told these negative things over and over and over again, we can't help it. We just start to believe it. And even if you don't truly believe it, it's in your mind and it really affects you psychologically. So how do we grow past this? How do we not allow the things that was said to us, especially the whole thing about us being a disappointment to God and being far from God and not being worthy and not being enough? How do we grow past that and not allow it to interfere with our mind and with our soul and with who we are? It's like I've said in my other videos, you just have to love yourself. You have to work on self-love. You're gonna have to work on loving yourself. You're gonna have to work on admiring yourself and knowing that you are who you are and there is nothing wrong with that. This is definitely a process. I love myself, but my issue is, does God really still love and want me? I do still believe in God and I do want God in my life, but I don't want God in my life the way that the ICOC tried to force me to have God in my life, because clearly that just didn't work. Work on loving yourself, but don't just work on loving yourself. Work on loving other people. Love other people no matter what background, what race, what culture, what religion. It does not matter. Just work on loving everyone and love everyone's differences and be okay with it. And once you are able to love other people and practice empathy and love and self-love, it makes the whole process of healing a lot easier. And even though you will still have triggers and you'll still have times in your mind where you're thinking, okay, well, am I really that far from God? Am I really not that good enough? These things are gonna happen, but it's all part of the process. Just allow it to happen. I don't like to say ignore the pain, because we can't ignore the pain. We can only go through the pain and get through it and grow through it. That is the most important thing that we have to do. I also wanted to mention that I've had some people come onto the videos and tell me that they want me to remove the COC in the title whenever I put ICOC/COC, because apparently there are people who are still in denial that the Church of Christ is a cult. I will not remove the title, and the reason why is because even though there are some churches of Christ that claim to be a lot more traditional and less strict and less legalistic, most of them are strict. When I was in it, we mentioned both names. Like, we would say, oh, we're the ICOC, or oh, we're in the COC. So to me, it was always the same thing. But because of the people that keep on complaining and talking about how I'm bashing on the videos, I decided to look a little further into it. And I found out that I actually was a part of the Church of Christ, the COC. The lovely COC that everyone seems to say is so great and is not a cult. However, the COC I was a part of did outright on their website say that they are affiliated with the ICOC and they follow the ICOC's ways and methods, which is why they're so strict. So maybe some people out there were a part of a Church of Christ that is okay and it's not so horrible. But then there are people like me who, hello, I didn't get so lucky. So no, I will not stop mentioning the COC because many of you were a part of the COC, and I will not remove that from the title. Another reason that I do put COC in the title is because it helps so that when people can type it in, they type in Church of Christ cult, which is what I did when I first found out that this was a cult and I was working on leaving. I typed in Church of Christ. I didn't type in ICOC. I just typed in Church of Christ cult, and boom, I found it pretty easy. To be very honest with you, if it tastes like ice cream, it looks like ice cream, and it feels like ice cream, it's probably ice cream. I want us to, instead of focusing on trying to defend the wrong and trying to victimize ourselves as the victims, I want us to work on growing through the pain and just finding a balance in our life where we can say, whether we have religion in our life or not, we are going to become a better person, we are going to grow from this, and we are going to find that happiness. Because that really is the most important thing to me on this channel, is that you guys learn to grow and to find happiness, and that you use this as your platform to speak out and to just be yourself and to say how you feel and what you've gone through. And one of the ways that you can use this is by joining my Beautiful Souls group on Facebook, which I have in the link down below in the description box all the time. My daily affirmation sheet is on my website, hellobeautifulhellllife.com. I have that down in the link below as well. For those of you who probably don't know by now, my Beautiful Soul series is over. It's over. We are done with the Beautiful Souls because I have been working on a new ebook called Finding Her Soul, and I will soon release the due date of when it will be out, so you can purchase that on my website very soon. I'm working really hard on it. I really want it to be readable and interesting and me and good for anyone who needs help, who has either been in a cult, who are in a cult right now and are confused, or who has a family member that's in one. If you have not subscribed, press that little subscribe button and press the little bell, ding ding, so you know every time a video comes up. And if you like this video and want to see more like it, then press the like button, and I will see you again soon.